Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 10th of April 2020 and welcome to video number 105. And today we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did yesterday. We're going to use this 3-second tool, but we're going to flip it upside down. It's going to be interesting because what we're going to be asking ourselves, or what we're going to do today, is asking her 3 things that we annoy her with. And why? And this is a very interesting thing because if you do that, it will teach you a lot of things. But and again, as usual, 3 things that I want you to kind of pay attention to. Because first of all, you're going to ask her about 3 things that you annoy her with. Basically, you're going to ask her about the things that she sees as negative or place for improvement for you. And this is one of the best moves you can do as a person, but it's going to be objectively negative. You know what I'm saying? She's going to tell you things which will be critical or which will be criticism, and they might be negative. And first thing that you're going to learn is how you can handle criticism, how well you can do that. Because it will tell you a lot about yourself. It's going to touch your self-awareness, self understanding, or some self-awareness and self-confidence. Basically, there's 2 things because it's going to tell you that the person that you're in love with, someone who is probably or supposed to be the most important person in your life, telling you about things that you might be better at. But you've got to look at it this way, because you ask this question, this is your initiative, it's going to tell you a lot, even though it's going to tell you a lot about yourself, even though it's like the mildest form of telling you this. Because look, if you're going to do this well, then you'll ask this question when you don't argue, when everything's fine. She's like, reading a book or watching a video, and you just see her sitting there doing nothing. You go there and listen. I've got a question for you. So the everything is cool. The climate is okay. The emotions are cool. There's no being angry at each other or something like this. This is the best way to do this. But then you're asking questions, and you know that the answer is going to be negative. This is completely your idea. So you're prepared that the answers might be, let's say, negative. And because she's not angry at you, she will try to phrase it as mild as possible. But if you're ready to challenge yourself, I'll propose you do exactly as I did. I say, listen, don't hold anything back. Just say exactly what you feel, right as it comes to your mind, because I want to have this unfiltered information, so I would exactly know what I'm supposed to do with it. And it would tell you a lot about yourself. How can you handle this? How are you going to react? And I want you to observe yourself, because it will tell you not only about the things that you're supposed to do something about, but it will tell you about how you see yourself. Is that something that's going to be new for you, or is that something that you're already new and I knew that I'm supposed to work on this? It's going to be challenging and interesting, so observe yourself while doing this. But second thing that's going to tell you, it's going to tell you a lot about how she sees you as a person, how she sees you a person in context of herself. It's going to tell you how she sees you in context of your relationship. And that's going to be interesting. And I'm going to tell you exactly what my wife told me today, because I asked her. That's obvious. I did this because I like to test my own medicine. And how it was interesting to think about when I was preparing for this video, because it told me interesting story when I thought about it, when I tried to go as deep as I could. And I'm gonna give you just what I found. So she said 3 things, because that's what I asked. First of all, she said that I have this tendency of keeping used tissues in my hoodies, in my trousers, or something like this. And yeah, in my defense, I'm an engineer. For me, it's like a waste of material, because if I'm not sick and I don't have like waterfall falling off my nose, it's like barely used, and I'm gonna use it. No one else will. But let's say it straight. It can be disgusting. So I can do something because it's completely not a problem. Second thing that she told me is that I've got times when I do something, or I'm trying to deal with something, I'm struggling with something, and in these times I have tendency to detach from reality. An interesting thing that she said that in these moments you have tendency to break the like a schema, break the pattern that we have in our relationship. And if you're this is exactly what I do. If you're taking care of taking out the trash, you'll forget about doing this. If you're cleaning dishes, you're gonna stop doing this, because I know that you're dealing with something, you're completely out of touch. And interestingly enough, when I asked her why it makes her angry or why it makes her annoyed, she said that in that moment, I have to ask you over and over again about doing things that you said that you will do. And it puts me in a very uncomfortable position of me being this nagging wife, which I'm not, and I'm not comfortable with doing this. And I said, fair enough. I can change that as well. I'm gonna get back to that. But that was really interesting thing to hear. And the third thing that she said is that whatever is your place, whatever is your place, you have tendency to leave chaos there. And that's nothing new for me, because I am basically a human chaos, and that's like my psychological profile. But then me being engineer, I have like a pattern to this whole chaos. It's not a problem for me to deal with this. But then I start to think, that tells me even more about our relationship. Because first of all, I learned those three things. Easy as it is, just I can take it face value. But then it told me three things that I'm supposed to look a little bit deeper, because I know that she's a perfectionist, and I know that I am chaos, and I have to learn how to deal with this. Although I don't have a problem with this, because it's my way of living. But it's interesting, because if you look at those three things, it's exactly three representations of the same issue. Because the tissues in my pockets is, from her perspective, is a chaotic behavior, because I'm having something disgusting in things that they don't have to be, let's say, washed, because there's like it's like brand new or freshly washed hoodie, and there's a tissue there just because I wear it for 5 minutes. Chaos in her order. Second thing that she told me about me, kind of detaching from reality. So then when I break the pattern that we have in our relationship, what I bring chaos to her expectation of perfection. And three, when she says that whatever I is my place, I bring chaos, she basically literally tell me straight to my face that it's a chaos problem. So again, we going a level deeper, and now I can see that it's not her. It's not three different things. It's her basically pointing me to the one thing that I have in my nature, is being chaotic. And interestingly enough, if you see that there's just one reason, then you can go even level deeper, and then say that if I know that she's perfectionist and I'm chaos, it completely kind of removes the whole emotional attachment that I may have, because I may think, no, she's trying to pick on me or something. No, I'm chaos, she's a perfectionist. So I would never even thought about having this against her, or feeling that she's having it against me because it's like a personal thing. No, it's like she's perfectionist and I'm chaos, and because if that's like because it's like it's our profiles, psychological profiles, then everything starts to become obvious. There's no emotional attachment, and it helps me to see that, okay, it explains a lot what she requires from me, and that's one problem, one thing that I have to be able to change my visual expression of myself to something much more clean and much more closer to her perfection rather than my chaos. And because I'm an engineer, I'm learn how to put things into and systemize things. It's going to be completely no problem to do that. And I'm going to get back to that again. But then there's one more thing that I learned from this. Because when she said about point number 2, that I'm able to break the patterns in our relationships, then I can see when I can expect to make her angry. And then when she said that she doesn't like my chaos in my workplace or wherever I am, she said something interesting, because she said, that's why I don't like to be with you in your space, because it makes me feel uncomfortable, because I don't like chaos. So that's why she said, I would rather prefer you, and that's why I'm asking you to come to me, to my spot, to watch Netflix, to spend time together, to talk, because I feel much more comfortable there. And then it explains a lot that's happening in our relationship day to day. And then it not only explains those 3 situations, but it can tell me much more about what is happening in our house. Because then if I see something that I don't understand, first thing that I can ask myself, is that my chaos pushing her to do something different that I would expect? And it can explain a lot of things. So that's why I wanted to kind of point out everything that I already said, because first of all, you need to understand what does it say about you, from perspective of self-awareness and your self-confidence and your awareness of yourself. And then you want to understand what does it say from her perspective, and your role in her life, your role in your relationship, because it'll explain much more, because it'll show you patterns that she sees from her, in my case, in her perfectionist mindset, and it will explain so much more than just those 3 things. So as I told you yesterday, if you're capable or allow yourself to go deep in all of this, it will tell you a lot just by asking 3 simple things that will take you 3 seconds to do. It can explain a lot in your relationship, and even better, this thing, you asking the question like proactively, it's fascinating, because it's like disarming her in situation of potential argument, because you're taking an ammo or the main critical points that she might be angry at you about out of her hand before time. This is perfect and strategical and tactical approach to a relationship. That's why I'm saying that this is a simple tool, but it can change a lot. And that's why, interestingly enough, we're going to go to the point number 3, what to do about it. And listen, this is exactly what I did a few minutes ago. I just went to her, because she's in the next room. She's listening to some video, and I play this idiot, and I say, oh, you want to use your headphones or something, because I hope she's not listening to me right now, because this is what I want to propose you to do as well with your things. Listen, this is my plan. This is my planner. Yeah, I'm old. I'm using a paper one, but I like to do it because it's, before I even launch my computer, I can see my plan on my desk. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put in my plan those 3 things that I need to change. Tissues, second, doing the things in my house, and that will be 3 of them. Let's be vacuuming, cleaning the dishes, and taking out the trash. And 3, cleaning my desk, or having this whole like much more pure, in much purer form than I usually do this. And I'm gonna put in my plan to check everything, like tissues, like every day, then vacuuming, let's say, every 2-3 days. We're just two of us here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then the cleaning dishes, check it every day, and then the trash can every, let's say, 2 days. I'm going to literally put it in my plan, and I'm going to keep doing this whole thing to test how it's going to change in, let's say, 28 days. And I put it in my calendar, because 28 days from now it's going to be Friday, 8th of May, and it's going to be video number 133. And I'm a Thursday that week, I'm gonna ask her the same 3 questions, and I'm gonna see if she saw the change. It's gonna be really interesting to see how 28 days of me really like doubling down on trying to fix the problems that she told me that she sees in me, and how it's gonna change our relationship, and then what will be the next 3 issues. Maybe she would have issues with finding some. Let's see. But that's why, if some of you are my friends, don't spoil it, don't tell her, because she's not watching those videos, so I should be covered from this perspective. But that's why I want to challenge you to do the same thing and check how it's going to change, how it's going to make difference in your relationship. That's what I'm going to do. And then if you find this video, in a month or 2, then just skip to video number 133 and check what is the result, because that's going to be fascinating to record. So again, ask her the 3 questions. What is the most irritating things that you do, and why? And tell her to be blunt, to just say what she thinks, because that will tell you a lot, like raw and unfiltered version of what she wants to say. And then observe yourself. What does it say about you, about your own knowledge and self-awareness about yourself? Second, observe what she's exactly saying about how she sees you as a person, how she sees you in towards herself, and how she sees you in the context of your relationship. And go deep, see what does she really say. Maybe you'll find those 3 things will be, as in my case, just one thing, pointing to just one general issue. And then 3, do the challenge and see how is that going to help you build this relationship. Because let's say it straight, if you're going to play it right, you'll disarm 3 major issues that she sees in you. And if you watched yesterday's video about the positive 3 questions, you're going to double down on them, and then you're going to eliminate those 3. There's like highway to happy relationship. Am I delusional? Because this is what I want you to take from this video. Don't overcomplicate things. Relationships are easy if you know how to play the game. So proactively disarm her and kind of destroy those 3 points that she sees she's as a negative or some place for improvement in you, and you will see that you can be so much happier just by doing this proactively. So just do it. Are you with me, brother? It's worth it. That being said, if you like this video, comment or contact me. If you didn't like this video or disagree with something, give me a shout. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. And if there's anything you want me to record about, or you've got some idea that I've never thought about, just give me a shout or DM me. I'll be glad to do it for you. Again, that being said, see you tomorrow.